picking bag soon. Okay. This side. Let me wash my hands. I was touching hay. Lemon yellow. Dang, which one do I use? Hang on. Have you been opened yet? You haven't been opened yet. Where's a new one? Where's the copper? I know we're gonna need the black out. Damn, my fingers are gonna be stained already. Oh well. Well, I do have a red. We're gonna need those. Not need burgundy this time. Okay, we need these colors. The rest can go over here for now. I'll put that to the side because that's an extra one. That. Come on. Every year I struggle. And I buttered the dish. Maybe I just need to loosen it a little. There we go. No, we're gonna flip it like this because I'm gonna need the bigger circumference to be able to write happy birthday on there. So, put it back here for now. Hello, whoever has joined, hello, and welcome. I know this is not guinea pig related content, and that is too bad, so sad. But I have a cake to decorate, and I was getting bored of watching whatever's on YouTube, and there's just nothing interesting, like nothing new on YouTube right now. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna create something new. I'm going to go live. So, I have to ice a cake for my friend's daughter's birthday, which is on Saturday, but I asked them to pick it up tomorrow, so that way on Saturday I'm not having to rush to like remember to bring a cake with me. I hate rushing. I hate a lot of things. Okay, I do need to get in here for a second. Let's pray that that doesn't break. Every time I use an actual drinking glass cup of any kind, it ends up breaking on me. usually when I'm doing the dishes, and yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen. Anyways, so I know it's not the usual content you're used to seeing from me, but it's okay. You can say hi to the guinea pigs after. Take 3 spoons out of the case. So, my friend's daughter is very specific. It has to be chocolate cake. It has to be pink icing. At least majority of it has to be pink icing. Now, I am going to do a little trim of floral type piping with the lemon yellow color, and then the black is for writing happy birthday. So it's going to be very basic. It's not going to be a super long live of decorating, but you know, it's okay. Hey Jess, how you doing? So I ended up buying 2 containers of icing because I didn't know how much I was gonna need. Normally I make my own icing, but I really didn't, I didn't feel like making a mess with it, the icing sugar and all that, so kind of took a bit of the lazy way out by getting the store-bought icing, but it's still buttercream icing, so that's the good part. And they're not paying me to make the cake or anything. It's just me volunteering out of my own heart kind of thing to make the cake for her kid. So. Well, that backfired. So the only downside with using the these things is that they stain your skin. And it takes like either really hard scrubbing and a great soap to get it out of your skin, or you end up having stained fingers for a while. Chances are I'm gonna have stained fingers for a while, but I don't care. So let's see if this will be enough and how. I know that to get like a full-on red icing, you need to have like a lot of the coloring. And the more coloring you put in, the sweeter it gets, and we don't want it to be too sweet. So, I thought I would do like a combination with mixing the red and a little bit of the actual pink, and then kind of just see what happens from there. The problem is the icing still sticks on the spoon and doesn't mix properly. So now I gotta use another spoon to try and get it off. Oh my god, that's such good icing. Like, that tastes so good. So, that's the pink shade we have now. The camera obviously does not do the icing justice, but it's okay. Let's add a little bit of the actual pink in. Chances are I have a feeling that I'm going to have to like make more to cover the whole cake because I got to ice the sides of it as well. But let's start with this much. Okay, this is an old coloring. You can tell it's old because of the fact that it's more jelly-like, but we're going to make use of it. We're going to use it one last time So I don't make cakes as often as I used to. I used to make cakes for my kids all the time, and I used to make it for like other people, whereas now I literally only bake cakes twice a year. Once for my friend's youngest daughter's birthday, which is coming up this weekend, and then I usually also bake one around just before Christmas because her oldest daughter has her birthday at that time. So, fun times. Let's try and mix this in. So I'm not sure if you could tell, but mixing it in, brings it to a different shade of pink. It's almost like a pink rose type color. So I kind of like doing that. I like blending it in because when I do the cake decorating, it kind of just reminds me of like actual artwork. Now, I'm not the greatest at art, but I do love to decorate, so it's like the perfect combination, in my opinion. Alright. Grab my piping bag. Find the right piece for it. Sure, maybe. Okay, we need that piece, we need that piece. No. Oh, way too big, way too big. That's it, that would be too big. So I used to have a star shape, or well, I call it star shape, but it was the size of this little hole right here, but it was like the star divot kind of thing. I don't know how to explain it, but I must have like lost that in the move or something, or it never got returned to me because I did loan it out to somebody a while back. And it never actually, I don't think it got returned. I don't know. I haven't seen it in so many years. And then I got tired of having to like constantly replace these pieces because they're not cheap. But also because I don't really bake cakes that often. Now, if I had more people request me to bake cakes for them, then yeah, sure, I'll reinvest at some point in getting the pieces again and all that. But until that happens, it's not gonna happen. So, I will place my little piping mechanism there with the plastic doohickey thing right there, and then I just have this thing that I twist on, and that keeps it in place from having to move. And so what I usually do is I take a tall glass, not necessarily glass, but sometimes it'll be plastic, but my drinking glass happens to be the tallest one that I have. And to make it easier for filling the piping bag, I basically fold it over like that, and then I take the icing with the spoon and scoop it in. So that's generally what I do. Now, we got... Yes, it's a small cake. I think it's 9 inches. I really don't know. I work with what I have. But I can promise you I don't think that that's going to be enough icing, so we're probably going to have to mix more from this container after. But let's start with what we have for now, and then see how much more we'll need. And then I lift it up. You know what? I think we're going to be smart. We're just going to go ahead and mix more icing now because I know that's not going to be enough. And it's more of a pain to have to refill the icing when the bag up top is fully covered with icing. We're just going to mix more. If we have leftovers, we can freeze it. And then we can use it at another time. So. Like I said, I didn't know how much icing I was going to need, so I did pick up 2 containers like this. So, it's okay if I just mix 1 full container as pink. Not a big deal at all. Yep. That, stay. I typically like to use my, I was going to say Q-tips. It's not Q-tips. These things for putting the color in there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oops. Alright, let's hope we can get remotely a similar shade to what we just had before. Piggies are going wild upstairs and I'm not sure why. They've already been fed. Unlike yesterday where I forgot to feed them. Like, I fed them hay and everything. I just forgot their veggies until I got home really late. So yeah, their schedule's kind of thrown off and it is, like, kind of my fault. But they eventually got what they needed. Okay, so it's not as bright. We need a little more of this one. Nope. Okay. Come on, just one. Just one. Just one. Just need one. Not 10. So, still not quite the same shade. So, I think we need more red. we go, that's better. That's a little better. Now, this is going to be the fun part. As much icing in the piping bag as we can. Whee! I know my hands are going to get full of icing anyways, but it's easier to have a good grip on it when my hands are not greasy from the icing. Then I try to squeeze out as much air as I can by pushing the icing down as much as I can towards the bottom of the piping bag. So, as you can see, there's some icing at the bottom there, so most of the air is out of there. And we can start piping our cake. Now granted, if I was making this cake for somebody other than my friend's daughter, I would be making sure it's 1,000,000% perfect. But because it's for a kid that really doesn't give a heck as long as it's chocolate and pink icing, I'm not going to worry about perfection as much. But we still want it to look beautiful. Now, this can get tiring on the wrist. So, if you're one that has like bad arthritis or something, this might not be a task for you to want to do. I'm just gonna try and, I want to try and make sure you can kind of like see more or less what I actually am doing and not just what I'm explaining. So yeah, typically if you're making a cake and you're trying to perfect it for like a paying client, you're going to want to make sure every single little bud that you ice out is the exact same size. Oh, I hear the wind outside. I don't like it. Yeah, see, my wrists are not the best, so you're going to see me taking breaks quite a bit. And normally, sometimes what I would do is I would just take my flat knife and just flatten the icing and just whatever. But I'm in the artsy kind of decorative type mood, so let's see what kind of art I can bring out to life. So, I know Jess is here. I don't know who else is watching, but if there is a certain individual watching, I'm not going to name him or her, but don't try to tell me that my peaches look nice because I'm not showing off my peaches over here. If you know, you know. If you don't worry about it. That's a lot of air. That's a lot of air. Quit farting. The piping bag. I'm talking to the piping bag. Oh, my wrist is hurting. Not cool. But on the bright side, I will have enough of the pink icing to finish there. I may have to try and do a different color for the side. I don't know how I'm going to do that. I haven't thought that far ahead. But I'm super glad that I bought 2 containers of icing. Because we are definitely going to use it. Okay, so now I can kind of try to perfect it a little better. So like around the edges here, there's a good chunk that doesn't have any. So let's kind of fill that in a bit. It looks better than any cake you've made. Well, thank you. It was actually a really good friend of mine, a former coworker of mine. Her name was Jessica. I used to work with her at the Walmart warehouse, and before the Walmart warehouse, we worked together at the Tim Hortons on Route Ingleside. And yeah, it was her that taught me how to do the piping and how to make the cake. Well, she showed me how to make homemade icing, which normally is what I do, but like I said, I didn't feel like dealing with the mess of the icing sugar and all that this time around, so I took the lazy way out. Okay. So, we got the base layer of that done. I think we will maybe we'll do the sides yellow. Yeah, we'll do the sides yellow, and then we'll just have a little happy birthday Amy on it, or as best as I can get that. I have not yet managed to perfect doing that yet, but we will make it work. Okay, so where did I put my doohickeys? I'm gonna need another one of these. We're doing the sides. You know what? We'll do the big one. Why the frig not? Okay. Put that in there for now. Sit there. We're gonna do this. So move that back a little. We'll get another one of these ready. It's a cool trick with the icing. Which trick? I'm literally rambling, not paying attention to what I actually said. Okay, so as you can see, my hands are pink. So I'm going to be washing my hands quite frequently because I don't want my yellow icing to turn pink or turn orange rather. So we're going to try and get as much of this pink off as we can. Now it's not going to work too well, I don't think, but we can try. Alright, got pink on that, so let's wash that off. Alright, now we're going to use every last little bit from this container. Why the heck not? We're not wasting any. Oh, how it looks like a lace, kinda? Yeah, that's kind of the point. right. Ooh, that's a pretty yellow. Yeah, no, my friend's daughter, for the longest time, probably still does now at this date, but she had an obsession where she had to have, what was it? Was it yellow top and pink shorts? Or was it pink shorts and yellow top? I can't remember exactly, but I know she was obsessed with the colors of pink and yellow, and it had to be a specific order on a certain day of the week. If you haven't guessed, my friend's daughter is autistic. And there's nothing wrong with that. So we got beautiful yellow. I think it's going to look great. It's going to almost look like a giant flower type idea, in my opinion, but you know. Okay. Now this is where it's gonna hurt my knees because I gotta go on my hands and knees for this. Oh no. I may have to make more yellow. Hopefully not, but we'll see. Doesn't have to be perfect, the cake just needs to be covered. I just don't want to run out of icing and not be able to write happy birthday on it. I still have 3/4 of a cake to do. Yeah, we're definitely going to need more icing. Oh boy. Oh. Maybe I should have bought 3. Well, it's not going to take much for the writing happy birthday. Okay, before we continue on, we're going to... Okay, we'll separate that much for that. And then I still got a little bit left in there that we can use for the yellow icing if we need to. I just want to make sure that I have enough to write happy birthday. Come on. Yeah, we need to mix more yellow. I've gotten about 1/4 of it done. Okay. I mean, I suppose if I run out of yellow icing, I still have a little bit left of that pink and a little bit left in a bowl that I can scrape and we can just make it work. But I'd really like it to be cohesive. No worries. Have a great night. Thanks for popping in. I really didn't expect anyone to actually want to watch this just because it's not guinea pig related. mean, okay, we're getting there. I can see the other end, so let's start. Okay, this is not the way I planned it to be. Oh, come on. The one thing I hate is when the bag gets those air bubbles. Sounds like a fart. We just need the cake covered. Doesn't have to be perfect. And when I was out today, I was trying to find actual, like, cookie icing, like cookie writing icing or whatever. But I couldn't find any. So we're using this icing to write the happy birthday on it, but that's okay. It's gonna have to do. He's not the perfect, he's not the prettiest, but I don't care. Zero, I don't think the girl's gonna care either. This is what the rest of the cake looks like. Much nicer than that little blurb in the back. Okay, we need to get this ready. That is a mess. We're gonna put that over here. Okay. This is where I wish I had more counter space. But it's okay. So it's not going to be quite black per se for the icing, but it'll be more of like a gray. That's the best I could do. I don't want to overpower the icing with too much of the black color, because then it's just gonna make it taste horrible. It shows that I have one viewer, but who is it? I'm always curious when it says like one viewer. Who are you that's watching? Why haven't you said hello? Alright, so that's the color it's gonna be for writing happy birthday. And we're gonna pray to God that I can get it looking half decent. Oh, and I'm a total idiot. It's too late to do it now. So normally I put the cake on top of a plate and then I set it on here, because then when I'm traveling with the container, it doesn't move side to side because the plate fills that gap perfectly. Well, too late to do anything about it now, because I can't lift the cake and put it on a plate at this point. If I do that, it's going to butcher it all together. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay. Yeah, we're not going to use that one. I'm going to move this over for a second. And I'm going to just grab a plastic one for this time, since most of the work is already done. I'm getting pink icing everywhere. Just need to get this part done. Then I can clean up. Okay, so we don't need these two bowls. We can put that one. believe that this works. Hallelujah, I did it, and I had leftover icing. Go figure. Go figure. I gotta send a picture to my friend. Actually, we're gonna do a little video. Alright, I am done the cake. I perfected the writing. That was amazing. I'm so impressed. So, I know she likes yellow as well, so I tried to do yellow, but I ran out of icing and it kind of looks a little shitty. But I mean, I did my absolute best, but this is where I ran out of icing, so it kind of does not look the absolute greatest. But this is what we got for her cake. From the front, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, now, take that little bit. Kind of maybe just blend it a little bit. That'll have to do. And then I put that over it, and in the fridge it goes. So who'd have thought now I have leftover icing of that. I suppose I could put that in a small container in the freezer and freeze it and pull it out in December when I make my next cake. I mean, considering that's the one I use for the writing, why not? There we go. And that's what I'll use next time. All right. So, let's move it this way. We have a lot of cleanup to do. These are good, these are good. Put that in there. This goes now. Now, this is what I normally do when I'm done making a cake. So the first thing is I get rid of all the toothpicks and everything on the counter and the floor, because apparently I've been dropping them. And oh goody, I have an empty plastic bag here to put the garbage into. That's garbage. Put that there for now. That is done. So before I just wash everything out, I am a big kid. I am terrible. And I will regret this later because I may or may not have a bellyache, but I don't care. I scoop as much onto my spoon as I can get of each color that I have left. And I eat it. And wow, that's sweet. Okay, usually I do 1 scoop. This time I'm doing 2. And there's already some on the black one here, or I'm going to call it gray. Now, I've already started putting water in that one, so I'm not going to do that with this one. But let's wash some of this. Just so that it doesn't stain. The good thing with buttercream icing is that it basically melts when hot water hits it. That away. Just to make some space in there. That's a bit of Dawn dish soap that I just put onto the sponge. I know everybody does their dishes differently, so don't judge me for the way I do mine. Normally I fill the sink with water, but the sink hole is buried, so I can't really access it to put the plug in to fill it up. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to save that into that pot. Now I'm going to fill this jar with soapy hot water, and you'll see why in a moment. Put that to the side for a moment. Let's work on that. Oh yeah, I need some more coal, I forgot. Right, now before I finish the rest, I absolutely need to try this pink icing. So, I am going to just stick my finger in the bag and pull some up. The pink one's not bad. Not bad at all. Okay. So, I do need to rinse the little pieces. Hopefully I don't cut myself this time. So last time I did it this way, I ended up kind of cutting myself. Oh yeah. That's fucking good. So even though I rinse it off, I still like to have it soak in hot soapy water. And then these bags get thrown into the trash because they are disposable piping bags. And I'm sorry, but I am not washing them out to recycle it. That is just far more work than necessary. in the dish rack, I do have the lid for that. I just gotta find it. Okay, well, that's okay. Ah! That hurts. So the little pieces that I use with the piping bags, I'll let that soak overnight, and then I will let it sit in a hot water rinse overnight. So basically it'll soak for like 48 hours before I put them away, but at least that way I can ensure that they are 100% thoroughly clean, sanitized, not greasy, and all that kind of stuff. Ha ha ha. Okay, so first turn that around. So our counter's a little messy. We're gonna clean that up as well as soon as I put this stuff away. So I've had this stash of piping bags probably since like 2014, 2015. And I still have some left over. I'm impressed. I mean, I will admit, I do prefer working with my homemade icing. But for the sake of this time around, it was just easier to do it this way. So let's get rid of that. Alright, so to start, I have my handy dandy disinfectant wipes. Might as well wipe the stove down while I'm at it, right? It's not super dirty, but So we get some icing there. And some critical care that got stuck to the counter. One of these days I do need to move the microwave to clean behind it, or underneath it rather. And then let's clean this side of the counter here. Because the least thing I need is for the icing to stain my counters. Which I may be out of luck. I think it's too late. And this is white vinegar and water. I don't know. I'm hoping maybe that it'll work. Yeah, I didn't think that through, but as long as it's not as noticeable, then it should be fine. And if okay. If I scrub hard enough with elbow grease, it comes off. And you know, when it comes to guinea pig cages, if you apply the same concept, you can get urine stains out too. Oh no, I got some on my cupboard. That we need to clean. That's white cupboard. Oh dude. Oh no, no, no. Can't have that stain. Oh no, 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 no. There we go. Hallelujah. Alright, I will let you watch the boys for a little bit before I end it. Oh. No. Yeah, good enough. Okay. Ah. Oh good, my friend loves the cake. Awesome. Okay, deal with that after. Oh, good. I am glad you like it. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. I am super glad that I bought 2 containers of the icing because one would have definitely not done it. I used 1 full container just for that pink layer, and then 3/4 of a container of icing just for the yellow. And then I had to separate some color so that I can do the writing on it because I couldn't find any actual cookie icing. That's what I was hoping to use for writing the happy birthday part. But I didn't find any cookie icing and I didn't feel like going to the dollar store just for that. So I separated some icing for that, but I didn't know how much I would actually need for it. So yeah, if I would have separated less for the writing, I would have had enough to fill that whole gap in yellow. But at that point, I was just like, you know what? As long as the cake is covered, I think everyone will be happy.
I'm gonna be honest. I do not know what it is when there's fluid around the heart, and I don't know how that impacts a person.
Okay, how do I explain that to her? My computer. Work. Okay, so basically, having fluid around the heart is known as a pericardial infusion or effusion. It basically means that an abnormal accumulation of fluid in the space between the heart and the pericardium, which is the sac surrounding the heart. And a small amount is normal, but excessive fluid can put pressure on the heart, hindering the ability to pump effectively. So, for example, I'm going to use Jane as the example. When she got diagnosed with heart disease, I was told she had a lot of fluid around the heart. So, because there was too much fluid around the heart, they put her on Lasix, which is to remove that fluid, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough. Yeah, by the time she got diagnosed with it and everything, it was probably too late. She had probably had heart disease for quite some time before I got her, even. But it's a similar concept for a human being. Um, you don't want to have fluid around the heart. It is not a good thing. Um, so, like, causes of having fluid around the heart could be like inflammation or other medical conditions like heart attacks, heart failure, kidney failure. Certain cancers can also lead to fluid buildup or trauma, like bleeding from chest trauma or surgery can cause fluid accumulation. So in this case, with the individual that that I was telling you about, it's because of her fall that caused the trauma. Okay, that is done. Let's check on comments. Nobody else has really commented, but yeah, people are watching. So I appreciate you watching. I just kind of, wish people would engage more as well, but it's okay. I actually, I think some people might just have it on just to help me get the watch hours. Either way, it's okay. Ba-ba-da-bum-bum. not talking about me. So we'll do that. Like 9:39. Oh wow, okay. Okay, so there's a. You see that? What? Boys, really? The hay rack stays on the cage, not on the pole. And like, this is the first time you didn't eat all your pellets. What the heck? No, whatever. You can have just one container because you don't need both. No. C'est la vie. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The boys are having a rumble party. Okay, so there's this image here. If you're right brained, you'll see a goat. If you're left brained, you'll see a mouse. I guess I'm without a brain because I see a very poorly made pizza. Yeah. Let's see. There might be a couple of pea flakes left in there. You're running low on the pea flakes. You got mostly carrot flakes left. Oh, geez, you don't have to bite that aggressively. I'm trying, Bruno. I'm trying. Bruno. Good boy. There you go. But lots of carrot flakes. You know what? Have at her with the carrot flakes. Put some in the hay. We need to use that up so we can get more. No, there's some pea flakes in the forage. There we go. Now I can kind of see better-ish. There we go. Oh, boys. Why? I'm putting videos somewhere. Wait, did I put? Yeah, I did put the laundry away. Okay. It's so cute when you're chatting, Bruno. It sounds like you're barking, but you're not. You're just chatting. And that's okay. Excuse me. Oh, why do they make these baby bells so good? They're probably so fattening too. 5 grams of protein, 10 grams of potassium, 15 cholesterol. Well, 0 sugars, 0 fiber. 3 grams of saturated fat and 0.2% trans fat. Well, I guess it's not the worst, but that's per little baby bell. And I end up eating the package, so it's fattening. Oh well, I'll have to exercise. Oh yuck, we're getting a snowstorm? Are you kidding me? God dang it. Man, we're getting a snowstorm. Yuck. I'm just snow are we supposed to get now? Weather Network. Weather advisory. Okay. Yeah, tell me how much snow we're supposed to get. What the frick? The frick? Winter weather travel. What are we playing? Oh, 2 to 4 centimeters. Well, that's all, then that's fine. I just don't want more than that. Alright. I think I'm going to end the stream now. But thank y'all for watching. I hope you have an